MS-13 gang leader convicted of racketeering charges, including the M of a 16-year victim in Alley Pond Park in Queens. A federal jury in Brooklyn today returned a guilty verdict against Melvi Amador-Rios, a leader of the Centrales Locos Salvatruchas, or known as the CLS Click of La Mara Salvatrucha, also known as MS-13, a transnational criminal organization, on 17 of the 18 counts of a third superseding indictment. Amador-Rios was convicted of racketeering, M in aid of racketeering, in connection with the May 16, 2017 fatal stabbing of a 16-year-old Julio Vasquez in Queens. Attempted M in aid of racketeering, conspiracy to commit M in aid of racketeering, assault in aid of racketeering, firearms offensive, and 4 counts of Hobbs Act robbery. The verdict followed a 3-week trial before United States District Judge Rachel P. Kovner. When sentenced, Amador-Rios faces a mandatory term of life in prison. Brian Peace, United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, Christy M. Curtis, Acting Assistant Director in Charge, Federal Bureau of Investigation, New York Field Office, FBI, and Edward A. Cabin, Commissioner, New York City Police Department, announced the verdict. With today's verdict, an extremely dangerous MS-13 gang leader, aptly nicknamed Lethal, has been brought to justice for his racketeering crimes and now faces a mandatory life sentence, stated United States Attorney Peace. The outstanding work of our prosecutors, along with members of the FBI and NYPD, underscores this office's continuing efforts to make our community safer by dismantling violent gangs. With the guilty verdict today, Amador-Rios has rightly been found responsible for the senseless and heinous violent crimes carried out by MS-13 in Queens. MS-13 relies on violence and fear for control, but the verdict serves as a reminder that their actions will not be tolerated. The FBI New York Safe Streets Task Force remains steadfast in our efforts to remove the threat of this violent and dangerous gang from our communities, stated FBI Acting Assistant Director in Charge, Curtis. Today's guilty verdict is the next step toward delivering justice for the victims of this violent criminal, stated NYPD Commissioner Cabin. The NYPD, in close collaboration with our law enforcement partners at the FBI and the Eastern District of New York, will continue to conduct aggressive, precisely directed investigations like this that stanch the violence, an essential step toward healing gang-plagued communities and fulfilling our duty to protect all New Yorkers in every neighborhood. The M of Julio Vasquez, beginning in fall 2016, the CLS Click, led by Amador-Rios, decided to K a CLS Chicro, or low-level MS-13 members, referred to in the superseding indictment, John Doe 3, who had been violating the clique's rules, including by associating with members of the rival 18th Street gang. Amador-Rios ordered Julio Vasquez, also a MS-13 member, to carry out the K of John Doe 3. Vasquez was tasked with K-ing John Doe 3 because he too had been violated the clique's rules and was suspected of cooperating with law enforcement. After Vasquez failed to K John Doe 3, Amador-Rios ordered Vasquez to be K'd. On May 16, 2017, Vasquez was lured into a wooded area of Alley Pond Park where co-conspirators Jose and Luis stabbed him more than 30 times, K-ing him. Vasquez's body was discovered by a bird watcher in the park on May 21, 2017. Jose and Luis pleaded guilty on July 14, 2023 to racketeering charges, including Vasquez's M. They are awaiting sentencing. 2016, attempted M. In October 2016, Amador-Rios ordered a CLS to K a member of the rival 18th Street gang. The clique targeted a boy that he believed to be a member of the rival 18th Street gang, referred to in the superseding indictment as John Doe 1. In the early morning hours of October 23, 2016, in the vicinity of 179th Street and 90th Avenue in Jamaica, Queens, the CLS Click, accompanied by two others, confronted John Doe 1, who was 16 years old at the time. At Amador-Rios' direction, the clique beat John Doe 1, shot him in the head, and attempted to shoot him a second time as he lay on the ground. The gun malfunctioned, but as a result of the gunshot wound, John Doe 1 was permanently paralyzed following the rest of the clique for the shooting. Amador-Rios informed them in a prison call that you guys already have the pass. You know, to be homeboys, you know, indicating that they would be promoted in the gang for committing the attempted M. The three cliques have each pleaded guilty to their participation in the assault and attempted M of John Doe 1, including variously assaults in aid of racketeering, attempted M in aid of racketeering, and discharging a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence. Amador-Rios participated in the armed robbery of a money transfer business in which an employee was pistol whipped, 3 armed robberies of convenience stores, all in Jamaica, Queens, as well as related firearms offenses. This effort is a part of organized crime drug enforcement task forces operation. The OCDETF identifies, disrupts, and dismantles the highest level of criminal organizations that threaten the United States using a prosecutor-led, intelligence-driven, multi-agency approach. Additional information about the ODTFC program could be found at www.justice.gov/OCDETF. Today's conviction is the latest in a series of federal prosecutions by the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, targeting members of the MS-13. The MS-13's leadership was based in El Salvador and Honduras, but the gang has thousands of members across the United States. Since 2003, hundreds of MS-13 members, including dozens of clique leaders, have been convicted on federal felony charges in the Eastern District of New York. A majority of those MS-13 members have been convicted on federal racketeering charges for participating in murders, attempted M's, and assaults. Since 2010, this office has obtained indictments charging MS-13 leaders and members in the connection of those murders. These prosecutions are the product of investigations led by our law enforcement partners, including the FBI Safe Street Task Force, compromising agents and officers of the FBI and NYPD. Hit that like button, comment your thoughts and opinions, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you on the next one. Much love, peace, blessings, much gratitude.